Dashiell, you want to explain yourself? What are you doing? Hold on. Really? Yep, there it goes again. Okay then. I'll leave you to it. Looking for the vendor parking. 10 minutes after 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday, September the 9th, 2022. And that makes it about 10 minutes after official opening time at the Rhythm and Roots Festival out here. Did I already say Bristol, Virginia? Actually, Bristol, Tennessee and Bristol, Virginia are pretty much the same city. This street that I'm on marks the border between the two. So you see right there, see it right there? It says Virginia on one side and Tennessee on the other. I don't know how many other cities do that. But as long as you're on this side of the street, all your sales tax is paid to Virginia. On that side, it's all paid to Tennessee. Now the Virginia has a lower percentage by about 2%. So you would think this would be the side that most people would desire. But I think we've got a pretty even mix of vendors from either side right now. You got to see this right here, this booth right next to me though. I should have got some video when they were setting it up. This is a Japanese, what'd you call it?
Mini truck.
Mini truck.
Yeah, Japanese mini truck.
It looks like a shrunken minivan with the back cut off of it to me, and the steering wheel on the wrong side. Where did you buy this?
A mini truck dealer in North Carolina.
And they're legal here?
They're street legal.
They are street legal.
Yeah, they're street
Wow.
legal and registered, so.
Yeah, and you can tell it's about 12 foot long because it sticks out of the end of this 10-foot booth just a little bit. Can I get a picture of the front right there?
Where you can,
yeah. Oh, okay, I'll walk around this way. Okay, so that's it on the other end of the booth. But see, the steering wheel is over here. So when they imported it from Japan, they didn't bother changing it to the other side. So it's a manual transmission too. Ooh, well that would take some getting used to. Oh, I can see it right there. There's the gear shift right there. Wow, I want one. I want one. Now, that's a way around the high gas prices there, isn't it? About how much? Yeah. How much are they?
Between 6 and 11, I think.
Really? That's all?
They're really inexpensive. They're old. They're, 1990s. I guess if it's over 25 years old, you can register them.
Really? So right there behind me, I think that is the main stage at the end of that road. But there are, I think, 2 other stages. Right here, down the side street, there's another sound stage right there. And there's one over on the food booth side street as well. So that's 3 that I know about. There's probably another one down here, I'll bet. Yeah, they've got live music you can listen to all weekend long. Now, this one I did do last year, and I can tell you that Friday was awful. I was questioning whether or not I should have even bought the booth when it was Friday. But come Saturday, it was all worth it. But this year, we're actually calling for rain on Saturday, so, the rain is what it is. It's going to do what it's going to do. Nobody has control over it, so no use worrying about it. We'll see what happens. Sometimes, if it rains hard on a Saturday, people come out twice as much on Sunday to make up for it. That's why I never, or hardly ever, do a one-day festival, because you always want those multiple days to make up for the ones that get rained out. All right, I'm going to stop talking. Let's hope you have a good weekend out here. Local media, the backpack gimbal, once again. Haven't seen one like that since the Granger County Tomato Festival. This one's actually a little better than that one. Just gathering B-roll out here. That's quite the rig. It's 9:30 the next morning, and this is what we're looking at. Drizzly rain. We'll see what happens. Maybe it'll clear up. Well, it's 11 o'clock now. Still haven't drawn anyone, and the rain has gotten slightly worse. But on a walk back to my truck to get some more paper, I found it. The Island Noodle booth. That puts a smile on my face. And as it turns out, it's the exact same food truck that was at the Three Rivers Festival in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So, yeah, it's nice to see some familiar faces and be able to have this again. Cheer myself up on this dreary, dreary morning. Well, it is Sunday morning now. Well, it's actually about 1 o'clock on Sunday. The booth next to me is having a little jam session. Well, yesterday that dreary rain did finally stop a little bit after 3 o'clock. So I got kind of a half day. Only did about half of what I did on Saturday of last year. A little disappointing. But today is nice and sunny and pretty. Everybody seems to be in a nice, happy, chipper mood. We'll just have to see how it goes. I did get here at 10, and it is now 1, and I haven't drawn anybody yet. No. We'll see how it goes. 8:45 now. I had a rain shower come through. A very intense rain shower came through and scattered everything. Ran them all off a little early. But here I am, just finishing up. Let's get this into here. Second weekend in a row I've had to pack everything up, sopping wet. But as for this one, we are done. Well, it is the next day now, Monday, September the 12th, 2022. I actually have today off, so but I'm going to be using it to drive over to Knoxville and check out the Tennessee Valley Fair. See if maybe there's not already a bunch of artists out there. Maybe I'll do that one next year. Yeah, so, but I have had a chance to rest up after the, 34 hours that I worked in the past 3 days. So I was able to sleep in and rest up and really reflect on my experience of the Bristol Rhythm and Roots this year. And it was awful that we lost half of Saturday to rain, but it was, I actually kind of hated it. I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. No marker drops. I actually beat my Friday and Sunday of last year, so the potential for making money is there. But most of the people were just there for the music. So throughout most of the day, people just stroll on by and don't even give you a second glance, give the vendors a second glance. It really makes you feel like a loser when it's just all that foot traffic just streaming on by. And the only ones that do stop are like people with strollers. For some reason, that was the only people that seemed interested were people with strollers. So I had to draw a lot of crying, squirming babies throughout most of the day. And then when the sun finally goes down and I start getting couples, like dating couples between shows, they're like, how long does this take? That's what I got over and over. How long does this take? Because they want to get to the next stage, because the next show is starting, because they got like 3 or 4 sound stages. So a lot of people rushing me to get those drawings done. And then after it gets to around 9, 10 o'clock at night, there's a lot of drunk people just yelling at each other and heckling the people I'm drawing. And it's like they get into those groups around stage where they're able to woo and yell, and then once they walk over to the vendors, they keep wooing and yelling, and they don't seem to realize you're behind somebody that's drawing, and you're wah-hoo, and people just making animal noises at some point. Between all of that, the long hours, and most of the first parts of the day not getting any business. I mean, I came in on Saturday and Sunday at 9 o'clock, about 9 o'clock in the morning, and didn't make the first sale until 1 or 2. So just sitting there twiddling my thumbs in the sun and thinking, man, I could have gotten some more rest. But no, they wanted me there, and they want you to be open by the time you're supposed to be open. It wasn't a good experience at all. It's my second time doing this one. I didn't have a good experience at the last one either. Between that and then the load in and breakdown are very, very poorly organized, because there's so many side streets that you could pull in on, but they block them all off. I mean, like tight rows of cones and those water-filled barriers. So there's no way for you to squeeze in through a side street and get to your spot easier. So instead you have to go down the entire street. And State Street, I think it's called. Yeah, State Street. You have to go down the entire street and dodging everybody else that's trying to set up or break down. And there are so many police officers there just watching you. And I understand they're probably there because there's so many drunk people at these shows. And so it might be necessary for them to be there. But I mean, like, I used to see them in groups of 3s and 4s. There was like groups of 6 officers that would just like stand in a line, just walk down the street, and just evil eye and everything. And it was a terrible experience. I guess what I'm trying to say is, as much as I want to have an upbeat and positive tone to the ends of all of my shows, this one I just can't. And I'm going to be looking for something to replace this show with. And hopefully I can find something. Like I said, I'm going to go see the Tennessee Valley Fair. Maybe I'll do that one instead next year, or just find something. If not, if I end up doing it next year, I'm definitely going to either put my camper in the vendor parking area, or I'm going to find a campsite that's closer, so I'm not driving an hour back home and an hour back to the show, from Bristol to Greeneville and back. And after working 13 hours, because there were times I was like slapping myself to try to keep myself awake going home on Friday night and Saturday night. But to all of my new subscribers that saw my booth and got their drawings done at Bristol Motor Speedway, if you're watching this right now, if you somehow got to the end of this video, I'm not blaming you guys. You guys were great. I had no rejections. I had most everybody that seemed really happy with their drawings. You guys were great. So nothing against you guys. It's just the festival experience, the long hours, the sun angle, all the babies, the drunk people, all the police officers, the terrible load-in and breakdown, all came together to just make this a terrible experience. But it wasn't your fault. It wasn't the people's fault. You guys were great. So that's going to be it for this one. Hey, maybe the next show will be better. Next one's going to be the Gaslight Festival over in Kentucky, so I'm looking forward to doing that one. We've got a nice campground out there that's actually close to the festival grounds. I did it last year, so I have a little bit more of an idea of what to expect there, so we will see. Last year, that was the one that broke my one-day record, so maybe we'll get another record-breaking Saturday if it doesn't rain this coming up Saturday. So I guess I will see you on the next one, guys, and yeah, thanks for everything, and make sure to subscribe. Talk to you down in the comments, and yeah, see you on the next one.